Hello to my Sagittarius. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. Let's get right into it. Happy first quarter moon. Happy first quarter moon. If you have a moon calendar, it may say waxing crescent, but we're in the first quarter moon phase. This video is for the 6th through the 13th of January 2024. Let's get into it. Let's see what's in your cards. First card out of the deck is Nature Spirits. Nature Spirits. All right, Sagittarius. Looks like somebody went on a journey. All right. Okay. So whenever you see this, the elementals, the fairies, the nature spirits request your presence. So it's time to venture outside, get into nature, recharge your batteries with the trees, the grass, the mountains, the desert, the sea. There's a magic that awaits you when you commune with nature, right? Right? So that's what usually people think when they, go out, right? Go outside. But you're only going outside when there's a reason to go outside. Some people kind of sort of venture and kind of get lost when they go outside. Let's get into it. Let's get right into it. We are in first quarter moon. First quarter moon is where you're taking action. The thing that you're saying that you want to create, right? So let's see what this week looks like for you. Reading is for the 6th through the 13th of January 2025. That's right. Nature Spirits. When I look at this this particular card, it reminds me of the movie Watchers. If you all have seen it with Dakota Fanning, and how people kind of sort of venture into the wilderness of the world. They kind of wander aimlessly, kind of out there. They don't really have a kind of out there, right? And that's not everybody's focus. Some people, when they're going somewhere, they have a perp. They know where they're going. They know exactly where they're going. Some people really don't know, where they're going. They don't really have a purpose when they leave the house. Some people don't know. They don't know if they're going to the grocery store. They just drive around aimlessly. They walk around aimlessly. They don't really know. And they wander into things that they just don't know. It's like, oh, what's this? So let's see. Let's see what's in your cards. First card out the deck, Two of Wands. So it's something that, here's two situations here. Something that you are definitely not going back to. Something you're definitely not motivated to go back to ever again, period. Point blank and period. It's something else that you're saying, maybe. I feel like somebody loves to travel. You're motivated to travel. See this globe here? You're definitely motivated to travel, right? But something you're not motivated to go back to, maybe just being confused about things, lies you hear about people, like just jumping to conclusions, because that's also that spirit of just like believing what you hear about people, that you feel like when you think about roots, when you think about the trees, you think about deep roots with people, like you think about something as you have deep roots with energies, right? You're not going to just believe just spirits, just what people tell you about somebody, that you have deep roots with this energy. They live with you. They spend time with you. They talk to you. They've been around deep. That's not going to be the first thing to come to mind. And the person is lost. They just wandering around. They just, there's something out of their mind. You're not going to just believe that first thing. Right? So here we have the Two of Wands. So you're definitely not going back to that. Your motivation is changing. Your motivation is definitely changing. Right? Because you're doing the shadow work. This right here. See this black cat right here? This cute little black cat named Shadow? You're doing your own shadow work. Somebody's determined to do the shadow work. Like, really, what is hidden within you? What is it in your spirit that's hidden that would make you believe somebody you have deep roots with? Like, what would just make you, without going into without being motivated to ask for clarity. That's the light side of fire. So let me give somebody an example of what I'm talking about. You have deep roots with somebody that you had warm fireside chats with, right? Warm fireside chats with. Somebody you consider as, when we talk about earth, family. Somebody you had warm fireside chats with. And somebody tells you something that don't even sound remotely like them. It don't even make any sense to you. You just like, it sounds so unbelievable. It literally sound crazy. You just like, what? They don't even sound like them. Instead of you going with the flow, your immutable sign, it's something in you is going to because you're a fire sign already, something in you is going to say, oh, no. I'm going directly to them and ask them for clarity. I don't believe that. I'm going to ask them directly. I'm going to ask them directly. I'm going to ask them directly. I need to know for myself. I need to ask them directly. That's how you're going to free yourself from the shade. That is how you're going to free yourself from the shade. That's how they're going to free themselves from people being shady towards them. That's how you're going to free yourself from the shade, doing the shadow work. That's how they're going to free themselves from the shade. Warm fireside chats. Right? That's how you're going to really see things from a higher frequency. Let's all sit down and talk. Let's all get on the party line. Y'all know back in the day they had, 9 people get on the phone. Just click, press the button. Press the button. Get this person on the line. Okay, press the button again. Get this person on the line. Somebody else press the button. They get another people on the line, whatever. Right? You got roots with people. So it's time to get people on the phone. Like all of this confusion. That's what this is. So somebody's learning how to use their fire, learning how to use your element, the power of your element, learning duality. Somebody's learning the power of your element, right? So you don't feel like, okay, that's just how some people are. They just being stubborn. They just stuck. That's just how they are. So you believe that, oh, they just being stubborn. That's just it. That's how that you just believe it. That's a belief system, and you just stuck in a belief system. That's number 5. You just stuck at number 5. You can't move past a belief system. That's just stuck. Can't move past that. So somebody tell you something that you feel like they're familiar with something. They're familiar. Like, well, I'm familiar with this, and I'm familiar with that type of a spirit, and I know this kind of spirit. I know, and you just sitting there like, really? So it's just saying, after first, second, third time of being confused about something, something is going to put a fire up under you to move on from it and say, I'm going to get some clarity myself. I'm going to get some clarity myself. I'm not going to sit here, just be sitting here just believing it. So yeah, so that's what I'm saying for you. Yeah. So I'm talking to you wherever Sagittarius is in your birth chart, not just your sun sign. Because somebody has been saying about somebody else that they have been lying for a long time. Everything they say about them is, oh, they lying. They lying. It's been telling you about a younger person. They lying. Oh, they lying about this. They lying about that. Right? But what the truth is, right, is that this person has actually been bullied and been in survival mode, right? Right, been bullied and been in survival mode. So it looks like an earth sign, maybe a Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, maybe a Taurus. This is a Taurus right here. This is Taurus energy right here. Somebody has been bullied, by 2 energies, another fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Somebody has been bullied, and Source this is your card right here, may have brought you in to see something from a higher frequency, but somebody that was going along with the flow. And sources say after the third time, sources, okay, I need you to see this bull right here. Somebody is being bullied. Somebody is being bullied, and they're carrying some kind of weight on their back. They're carrying some kind of heaviness on their back. And now they're free of something. So that's what source is saying. Okay, it's time to do the shadow work. Time to do the shadow work. And how is it that somebody believes somebody that you had deep roots with, you've been around for a long time? That's shadow work has to be done. So there's some balances happening. So here we had a two of coins here. So to balance some things out within. It doesn't matter if the person is younger. If somebody is telling you, okay, they're carrying around something, that is, again, they're trying to enlighten you about something. They're scared, they're nervous, there's something, they're carrying around this fear, or this something about the inflections of their voice or something. And so, so I'm seeing something right here. This is the mother of the Zodiac sign. This is a Cancer right here. And so, again, somebody has spent enough time around, somebody had deep-seated roots to know when somebody is telling, like somebody has spent enough time around two energies to know when somebody is being honest about something. Somebody has spent enough time to know. All these people having conversations around somebody but not talking to somebody. Yeah. So there's looking at the cards here we had a 5 of wands here. There's definitely a turning point happening looking at here in the cards, and that's what's happening this week right here. Somebody's learning how to just get more authoritative. This is where something put a fire up under you to get into prayer warrior mode, right? So you're not physically fighting somebody. That's like we're talking about. This is Aries right here. Somebody is in prayer warrior mode now. Somebody is in prayer warrior mode. You're not physically fighting a person that is very low vibrational, very gutter. You are in prayer warrior mode though. So Aries is ruled by Mars. Mars is the planet of action and assertion. It's the planet of competition, survival, strength, capacity, courage, and daring, anger, sexual drive, fighting spirit, energy, vitality, and conflict, right? Something in somebody's spirit is like, I cannot believe I was at a crossroad, right at a crossroad, right there at a crossroad, right there at a crossroad. So that's where this first quarter moon in Aries, and Aries being ruled by Mars, which is a Tower card, comes into play. Go into prayer warrior mode. Okay, source, clear off my plate all the confusion that's going on in my spirit. What all the confusion? That's this week. The confusion, because we're getting closer and closer to a wolf moon, and there's a light and dark side to wolf energy. Light wolf energy is like, okay, you're finding your tribe, your wolf pack, your people who keep you enlightened about things, people who are not keeping you in confusion, keeping you in the dark about things. That's people in your personal and your professional life, right? So you're not going to know everything about everybody. You're not going to know who your kids are dating. You're not going to know whether they're ready to come out of the closet or if they're in the closet. You're not going to know all of that stuff all the time. The people that comes, whatever, when the people are ready to talk about certain things. You're not going to know when they get a raise at work. You're not going to know all the time if, they having, spousal problems. They may have a little argument with their spouse. They say, okay, last time I told the family held it against the spouse forever. You may not know all of those little details of this and that. But some things, this right here, talking about some roots run deep. Like an inflection in somebody's voice. You can hear when somebody is, scared or nervous, or, somebody is feeling like, okay, they're telling you, somebody's threatening them, or something at the root, the base, for somebody should feel like, this is the I feel sign, could feel like I got a feeling that I need to start praying for this person. I need to start praying. Right? Because I know what people are saying about people behind their back. That's what you have in common with them. I know how people talk about people behind their back. I know how it feels when people tell lies about people behind their back. But see, everybody that's talking about people behind their back is not bad. Some people are saying some good things behind people's backs, right? But at the root, like you would say some good things about people behind their backs, but at the root, source is saying you already know. You already know. Here's the Seven of Swords here. You already know. That's what you have in common. So whenever you see sword energy come out, and you know what people are saying about people, oh, they deceitful, they this, they, you know, they angry, they got a temper problem. You don't know, they got a temper problem. What they're really doing is projecting something on somebody else. How come they're not saying it to them in their face? How come they're not saying it to them with you on the phone? How come they're not saying it to them with you on the phone? Just like when people have said stuff about you behind your back, and somebody said, hold on, let's get Sagittarius on the phone. Hold on, before you say another word about Sagittarius, let's get Sagittarius on the phone. Let's balance it out. Let's balance it out. Let's balance it out. Because you're not going to tell me something about Sagittarius. I got deep roots with Sagittarius. You're not going to tell me about Sagittarius. You're not going to talk about them behind their back. Let's get Sagittarius on the phone. There won't be any talking around people. Let's get them on the phone. Let's get them on the phone. Let's get them on the phone. I'm not about the drama. I like it high vibrational. That's you right there. That's shadow work. Let's get them on the phone. Let's get them on. Let's be fair. Let's get them on the phone. Let's see it at a higher frequency here. Let's go clear up some confusion right here. Let's get it on the phone. Let's get on. Let's put it this man. This you right here, adding structure and authority to something. Let's get them on the phone. This is a cardinal sign. This is a cardinal sign. Right? That's you taking the initiative. This is a car springing forward. I feel something about something. I feel like something's not tough. This is the I feel sign. This is the I am. I feel like something is off. I feel like something is off here. Right? Okay. Because somebody's talking about somebody I have deep roots with behind their back. Two energies are talking about somebody behind their back. Right? But I feel like something is off. I don't know what it is that's off. And I'm hearing all this stuff going on about them, but nobody's saying anything to them. That's what you have in common. That's what you have in common. So that's what's pushing you to the light side of Emperor energy. It's basically somebody is basically like it's their way or the highway, right? So their way is, okay, let's start a fire. Let's get everybody involved. Let's bully people. Let's terrorize people. Let's make people carry the burden of responsibility. Let's do all of this. Let's be shady. All of this. Make these comments. This is a form of spell work. Let's say all this stuff around people. Let's keep people scared, nervous, all of this. So by the time you get in something, you just so confused and turn around like, okay, well, when was the last time I talked to them? Because I guess you don't know everything about everybody. But you got deep roots. Listen, I'm reading the cards. I'm serious. There is nobody who can tell me somebody I spent years around and I wouldn't be, and I got there and I recalled it. Somehow I would find somebody's number and be like, hey, listen, I just heard such and such. What's going on? There's no way. No way. Maybe I'm just built different. For real. I'm asking. I'm going to ask the question. I'm going to come straight out and ask. I'm going up Front Street. I'm not coming through the back door or the side. I'm coming up Front Street. I'm asking the question. I just heard such and such. Are you okay? First and foremost, what is going on? I want to hear from your mouth. What's going on? Because it's somewhere you want to know who said it. Who? Well, let's get them on the phone then. Let's everybody get on the party line. I mean, I know that's kind of being dated, like that was back in the 80s or whatever. But let's everybody get on the party line, because I want to know where the fire start. Let's get it all cleared up, because we can get to the root of it right now, right? We can number 7 a situation right now. We can bring clarity to it right now. So I see you being able to defend your decision and move on from something without coming across as defensive, but I feel like somebody felt blindsided. You didn't even have a chance to even get your thoughts together, even figure out what in the heck was going on, and that was the goal, to get you blindsided, so that you can stop talking to somebody. That was the whole point. To create some kind of confusion to make you stop talking to somebody, or them to stop talking to you. Again, further putting them into the wilderness, or putting you into a wilderness. Separate everybody in the wilderness, like this right here, right? Yeah. And watch how everybody survive. Here's the Queen of Wands. Again, shadow work. But when you do the shadow work, you can see it. When you don't do the shadow work, you can't see this. But when you do the shadow work, you can actually see it. That's what's going to balance everything out. Here's the 9 of Wands here. So you will not be going backwards to just automatically, just when something blindsides you and somebody tells you something and you just automatically just believe it. Like, oh my God. What? Burned out, stressed out, confused, survival mode. And it happens to everybody, actually. It literally happens to everybody. Literally. That's where you extend grace, because that's where you like go into prayer warrior mode. But it had to bring everybody to prayer warrior mode. So that's what balanced everything out. It was like, okay, somebody planted a seed, that's a lie. It just took off like wildfire. You like, oh my God. Right? So this is the week that, again, for you, you are, Source is actually rewarding you for taking the high road and moving on. So like moving on, right? Taking the high road and just moving on. Because you're never going back to just believing the first thing you hear about somebody you got deep roots about. Like, what? There's no way. There's no way. But somebody definitely felt blindsided. Yeah, here was a 2 of, yeah. So you learn how to master your thoughts. You learn how to master your thoughts. You learn how to master your thoughts. So that's what's happening. You're just learning how to master your thoughts. And balance out your own internal scales. This is not, you're learning how to balance your own thoughts. So that you can be at peace. So that you can be at peace. Your spirit can be at peace. So that your spirit can be at peace. So, so that when there's a lot of gossiping and stuff going on around something, you're not even a part of it. Like, unless we're talking directly to the energy that's being discussed. I mean, unless they are no longer, in human form, like they have transitioned, then if we can't get them on the phone and talk to them directly, we don't need to talk about it. I'm not getting into that conversation. Yeah, so somebody is now, like I said before, like I said, Source is actually rewarding you for moving on, from something, when it's just this much confusion. That's what's all this fire here, so much confusion and just chaos, going on in your cards, surrounding something having to do with the house, or there could be a fire or something going on. It's having to do with something of value. Yeah, but that's what the devil does. And the devil is not a person, obviously, so we're definitely not demonizing a person, any people, keeping it very high vibrational. But the devil is the author of confusion. All it needs is host to jump into, to create a bunch of confusion, create all this smoke and fire, and everybody's choking and running out of a wilderness situation. Like, where's the fire start? Everybody's confused, don't know what happened and what's going on. And so Source is saying to you, um, something that you nurtured, something or somebody that you, whether you're a man or woman, it doesn't really matter, but somebody that you actually poured fresh water into, and you helped those energy to grow, or they helped you to grow in some way, shape, form, or fashion. That was the water that you needed to put the fire out. That was the water that you needed to put the fire out, or that they needed to put the fire out. To bring clarity to something. To bring some kind of clarity to something, right? So there's going to be a lot of conversation around a lot of things for a while, but it's going to, life cycle. A lot of talking around something. A lot of talking around something. Yeah, 3 situations. 3 situations. How did the fire get started? But something new is being created. Something new is being created for 2 energies. Something new is being created for 2 energies. Looking at this card here, some kind of an So 9 is the number. 9 is a death rebirth number. So there's a rebirth that's happening between 2 energies. Some kind of a rebirth that's happening here. That's basically like you'll be able to feel when somebody else feels, somebody that you nurtured. They don't have to be. It doesn't really matter whether you're a man or woman. It's just like somebody that you poured into. It could be a mentee, it could be a student, it could be a friend, but y'all have deep roots. It could be somebody who's like your daughter, like your son, somebody you have deep roots with, right? It could be 2 people that you have deep roots with, somebody that you poured into, that you've had fireside chats with, you've had warm conversations with, right? They trust you, they have warm conversations with you, right? They see you as somebody who is the light side of fire. They feel motivated when they're around you. They feel some kind of clarity when they're around you, right? And so something new is being started here. Something new is being started here after all of this. I don't know who I'm talking to, but yeah. The scales from your eyes have been removed. Remember, there's 2 snakes on the medical symbol. Again, duality. Somebody is really learning duality. There's light and dark side to everything. Even when you hear about wolves, there's not just wolves in sheep's clothing. That's people talking about the dark side of wolf energy. Those wolves are keeping people in the dark about something. They travel in packs, but light side of wolf energy does too. They keep people enlightened. They keep people enlightened. They, teaching and, traveling together and protecting but keeping people enlightened. You have your friends, your friendship circles will keep people enlightened, about things. Those are like, for instance, you can kind of sort of look at snakes. We're talking about the spirit of that, of like let's say the workplace, for instance. You could have people when you first start a job. Some people, they're there, They want to enlighten you. They're so excited they have somebody new to train and teach new things. They don't see you as a threat. They just see you as somebody new. They're like, oh, let me show you the new system. Let me show you, here's the shortcuts for this and that. There's the restroom if you need it. There's the break room. This is what time everybody goes to lunch. Like, they're excited about somebody new being there. They love teaching, helping people, those kind of things. Oh, you can come to lunch with us. Our group goes to lunch at such and such time. That would be considered as like light wolf energy, or the people who have been enlightened. They're enlightened about something, and so they're shining. They're sharing their light with you to help you become enlightened. They're awakening. Versus the energies who see you coming through the door and see you as competition, and they're intentionally keeping you in the dark, creating a bunch of chaos and confusion. Yeah, scales from your eyes have been removed. That's how things are being balanced out. Yeah, some energies have been holding on to some rage for a long time. It don't have nothing to do with anybody, but you don't even know where the rage started. You don't know how far back generationally the rage goes. So it's like everybody catches the, HE double hockey sticks. For real, everybody catches it. It's like, and you show any sign of, like any spirit of fear or being docile, or like somebody who thinks that, scared of bullying, or somebody who is not a like a physical, like if you're fighting in the spirit, like whatever, they just go right in, like I said, just take that rage out on everybody. So it's like you're somebody is learning. Somebody is learning. Some people, they just carry that rage around with them. So yeah, surrender. Sometimes learning to surrender can feel as if you're dying. The ego learns what's hardest: to stop trying to control the whole universe. Yeah. And it's something about a belief system. That's what all this fire is about. It's about spirituality and, and taking some kind of action. So somebody's learning how to do the shadow work, because that I didn't know this and I didn't know that. Everybody don't know every little thing. Well, I did say it in a previous reading, shadow work. So, that's what this is. Somebody ventured off into a situation. One person ventured off into a situation and they came back from something. Somebody else ventured off into a situation and, really got lost. So it's time for you to spend time with friends, but really redefine friends. Are they going to be okay with your new shadow self, you doing the shadow work? If they do, they know, will they judge you? Will they turn around and burn you if they knew what was in your shadows? Right? Will they start rumors if they knew what was in your shadows, in your past? So sacrifice. Sometimes surrender is painful. God's cutting away all that needs to go. Illusions, obsessions, addictions. It's a sacrifice to love. A sacrifice to love. Alright, let's see what else we got going on here. Alright, sacrifice to love. Let's see what else we got. Alright, so we're closing this out. We're going to go ahead and close this out. But yeah, it's a lot of conversation going on around all of this, because good grief. But yeah, somebody is definitely ending something permanently with two energies. Looks like three actually, but 24. You have a heart of gold and you're very skilled at maintaining balanced, stable relationships. You are loyal to your loved ones and you're able to be the nurturer, protector, and provider all at once. So there's a generosity there. Yep. Yeah, somebody has been called a liar ever since they were little. you know, and people just, you know, the baby's basically been called a liar to silence them. So people assume their meekness is okay. Well, it must not be that bad because they not, you know, up in arms and screaming and hollering and cussing people out and going off and acting wild. You know, so it's sort of saying, but they just move on. They just move on. So yeah, yeah, move on and get sacrificed. After all the sacrifices that were made. So source is saying to you, you somebody's gonna feel like, you know, a message of like feeling like a whole new lease on life is coming through. Somebody's gonna feel like they have a whole new lease on life. Yeah. So some kind of message is coming through. A lot of ideas, you know, a whole lot of ideas are coming through, but somebody's gonna feel like they have a whole new lease on life. And that's the message that's gonna, you know, come through. Right? And everybody now is wide awake. Clear thoughts. Everybody is thinking clearly. Everybody is sitting on top of their throne. Crowns adjusted. Everything. Clarity of thought. Something has been fulfilled. New tradition. Rules set in place. Everything. Now stuff is making sense. Yep. See this light and dark wolf? Yep. Well, now when people hear somebody's a wolf in sheep's clothing, somebody gonna start thinking about, okay, the light wolf actually keeps people enlightened about stuff, bringing people into the light about some things, right? Yeah. They're trying to create it. Somebody just moved on quietly. Somebody just moved on quietly. They didn't bash anybody they left behind unless something was brought up and they had to defend their, you know, what was being said about them or whatever. But quietly they moved on. Yeah. So there's a breakthrough right there. All right. There it is. All right. That is what I have for you. I'll see you all in the next video. Hopefully this has been helpful. But that's what kind of week somebody is going to have, whether it's this week, next week, or whatever. Remember, time is relative, but looking at your cards, Source really wants you to start dreaming bigger. Something is going to inspire you to be more clear, you know, moving forward, dreaming bigger, you know, not holding on to confusion, maybe, you know, using your fire to travel more, to, you know, vibrate higher, to not judge. I mean, leave a particular belief system behind that wolves are just wolves in sheep's clothing. When somebody tries to enlighten you about something, not just going along with the flow. I mean, there's a lot of things that you're, you know, becoming clear about something. A lot of things you're becoming clear about. But that's what I have for you. I'll see you all in the next video. Make it a great week. Bye.